Girls, ladies, and gentlemen, I want to revisit Little Catherine's Rapture Dream. I covered this thing multiple times, even had people download my video and upload it on their channel 4 years ago, 5 years ago. We do know that the time has changed. Nothing is original, right? We do know that. And we do know that the enemy has been given into his hands to change the time and the law all the way up until tribulation. We do know that the time is off. We're using paganism as to count the hours, days, months, weeks, and the years. All paganism, pagan names given to us by Babylonian governments, Babylonian leadership. So in the comment section, I was able to read a comment where a person left, try using the Dead Sea Scrolls calendar. And yes, big difference. We do know that the Dead Sea Scrolls, closest thing we have to the Bible, Greek and Hebrew. There's all different, and we're not going to go down that exhausting rabbit hole. King James is the one that God ordained, flat out. Because if not, it is the most hated and the most popular book in the world at the same time. If you don't think that's from God and it has all of that stuff attached to it, okay, whatever. We're not arguing. We're not going to do that. This is very important, thinking about the time that we've been given. A lot of people have been told, I don't know with the dreams, there's certain dreams that I hear like, okay. But this little girl's dream, it's still perplexing. September 23rd, September 24th, people keep saying Feast of Trumpets, Feast of Trumpets. Well, that's not a correct date, according to the Dead Sea Scrolls calendar. Let's play some.
Slept, I heard God spoke to me on October 10, there will be a big disaster. And that night I had a very long dream, the fourth one of the same dream. And the dream was, I saw a big dark blue microchip that went...
I want to try and see if I can get this to play where she says when she was given the dream. If I can get this counter to go all the way back. Because she said September 18th, 2020 is when she was given the dream. Okay.
Right passed by me, my sister, and my mom.
Let me see if I can re-pull this up. Okay, so hold tight.
So on September 18, before I slept, I heard God spoke to me. On October 10, there will be a big disaster.
Now, she said October 10. That is still Tishrei. Now, remember Noah. He rested, him and the 7 and the rest of the animals, Tishrei 17, which would be October the 8th. So from everybody that was being told and all the visions and things that gone viral online about September 23rd. Then I hear Jesus saying in the scripture, I know he was talking to the Jews. And I've mentioned this verse before where he says, I'm coming at an hour that you think not. You're thinking about the hour he's coming. But Jesus said there's an hour that I'm coming that you are not thinking of. Okay? Little Catherine said on September the 18th, 2020, she was given, it wasn't a dream, it was a vision. She said God told her on October 10th. Now, all the rest of these videos here, I have searched out, found my video uploaded on. I have a problem with it. It's not a problem. The whole video, because they've removed the whole entire upload of Little Catherine's Rapture Dream. The only thing that you can find are people that, well, we reposted it and we was examining it. So this is, I find interesting. The reason why is because, okay, now when she says she saw God in space, he looked big and tall. He was big. Jesus showed up in 2017 It was called the Maui or Maui, whatever you want to call it. The internet went crazy. All the calendar guide videos on YouTube went crazy about the Revelation 12 sign. It was literally in the sky 2017. But when you look up that visitor's name, it spells out Yeshua. Now this visitor's name spells out God. Okay, so you heard that. So let me find you something else.
I go to space.
Did you see other people also get raptured?
Yes.
Can you describe?
So how I saw them being raptured is I was raptured and I saw another country, they were raptured, and I saw another country again, and also people being raptured again.
After you arrive in space, what did you see?
I saw God and millions of angels and people.
Okay, can you describe how God looks like?
God looks tall and he was big.
Okay, he was tall and he was big, and we were outer space. We went to space when we came off of Earth. I just wanted you to hear her say that. I've chopped this video up so many times over the past 5 years, and still it's a mystery. But now things are coming into view. God's tall and big. This three-eye atlas is huge, they said. It's big. And it emits its own light. And it's doing maneuvers and speeds that a comet don't do. There's no tail to it. Jesus showed up in 2017. And they called it the Revelation 12 sign, a Maui Maui, or Maui Mui, whatever you want to call it. The translation for that is Yahshua. I'm getting ready to show you. But I also, thanks to the person in the comment section that dropped the T on, on the Dead Sea Scroll calendar. So I'm going to pause and we're going to get over there to that. Now, the Dead Sea Scroll calendar, you can also download the app. I have the app, and the app looks just like this. Okay, so we're gonna type in now 2020, right? I want to show you something. 2020, we're gonna go to September, the time that she was given this dream. On September 18, God spoke to me and said, right, this was September the 2nd. So if you look at your calendar, this is Elul, this is 2020. Okay, Tishrei is the 7th month. Okay, so on September 18th, 2020, God gave her a dream 4 times. But before the dream, she said God told her it was going to be a big disaster on October 10th. Now, what if September 18th is the day that we're taking, and October 10th, nuclear war happens, and that's a big disaster as well. But all kind of big disasters are waiting. Just look at the plates. Just look at the earthquakes, the volcanoes. Nothing but disaster after disaster after the harvest is going to happen. Now, she said she was given a dream September 18th in 2020. That would have been Tishrei 3. That would have been the 3rd day of Tishrei. Okay? The Feast of Trumpets in 2020 was September 26th, which would have been Tishrei 1. Okay, that's your trumpets. That's your Feast of Trumpets right there. Now, if you go to, let's go to 2025, but let's just back up one time. Okay, this is 2020. We're trying to figure out what little Catherine was showed. Okay. Now, Elul 27, 28th. Again, a lot of the correct calendars don't have always 31 days in them. Sometimes 29, sometimes 30. Okay? Now, let's go. This is 2020. And let's go to this year. Okay? Let's go to 25. This is the Dead Sea Scrolls calendar. Okay? Now, let's go to, that's June, July, September, August, September. Now, remember she was given the dream September 18th. is when she was given the dream. Look this year. Tishrei 1, always on the first day of the 7th month, the Feast of Trumpets. The fall day of remembrance, trumpets, the Feast of Trumpets. It's going into the fall, going into the dead season. Remember, Pharaoh, God told him, you must harvest the good before the dead season comes. Because the goods cannot be known in the land, the plenteous, during the dead season, lest the plenteous die. This year, Feast of Trumpets is September 17th, which would be Tishrei 1. Okay? September 18th is when she was given the dream in 2020. Now, if you go down here and find September 23rd that, folks are looking at, according to the Dead Sea Scroll calendar, there's nothing popping. But I always have been under the learned hand of the Holy Spirit that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, based on the elite and how they mocked the kingdom, everything they done, those are the 3 days, okay, from what I've found on Discovery. It is not Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, okay. It was the first day, second day, third day, fourth day, sixth day, seventh day. Christ went in the ground Monday. He died on a Monday. He was risen on a Wednesday. Every bad event in this world is always done on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday when they want to broadcast their demonic activity. 9/11, the worst false flag we've ever had, happened on a Tuesday. When they named the pandemic, they named it, I believe, was on a Wednesday. I've taught people this years ago, and I'm still on it, but not as much. Anytime the elite call for their plans and their class actions, they do it on one of those 3 days to mock God. Everything throughout history, when they make plans, war, whatever, when they name the pandemic, when they launched it, it was either on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Those are facts that you can go look up. I've showed them many a times. So this year, Feast of Trumpets, ladies and gentlemen, which is Tishrei 1, would be September 17th. Now, if you get into Tishrei 17, okay, that would be October 3rd. That's the same time on the 7th day, on the 17th, on the 7th month, or the 17th day of the month, is when the ark rested in the most high place in the Caucasus, in the Caucasus Mountains, which where the word Caucasian come from, and that's where but they stayed on the ark a whole year. They didn't get off because the waters were still on the earth, but they were abating, as the Bible says. They were leaving, but they didn't get off until the spring, the same time that they got on a year later. Now, she said October 10th there would be a big disaster, which would be Tishrei 24. Now, I believe that big disaster could be war, could be super volcanoes going on. It's going to be a global, and it could be just as bad or worse if you talk about nuclear war. Okay. She said she saw Donald Trump being elected, and after he was elected, nuclear war followed him. He was elected the last president. Okay? So, October 10th, ladies and gentlemen, that would be Tishrei 24. That would be the 24th day of the 7th month. But now, I like this calendar as opposed to the Chabad one I was using, because this gives a different date. So let's go. I'm gonna pause. Now, when you come over here to the Shabbat calendar, which is a Jewish calendar, and let's go and see what they have for Tishrei. Now, see, this is what I'm saying about the system. Now, I won't debate dreams given to people. But when they give dreams, and when we hear these dates, okay? Why does this calendar? And truth be told, I'm spiritually partial to this Dead Sea Scroll calendar now. Okay? Tishrei 1, according to the Chabad.org calendar, has it on September 23rd, which is Rosh Hashanah, Feast of Trumpets, right? But what did I just show you in the Dead Sea Scroll calendar? Tishrei 1 fell on, let's go back, okay? Let's go back. Over here, what do we have? Let's go to 2025, one more again. And let's go look up Tishrei 1 over here. Let's see the difference. This is why it can be confusing for folks. I'm just saying, folks, this is the reason why. Tishrei 1 over here is September 17th, which is just a week off. Okay, 7 to 6 days off. That's a week. But that says September 17th. The Chabad calendar has it at September 23rd, 24th. That's just a week apart. Okay, that does make a difference in calculation. Okay, when you take a look at it. So if that's let's go with the Dead Sea Scroll, because that's the closest thing we have to the word. And if it's September 17th, look at September 17th, guys. In the Gregorian, 17, the number of victory. Okay. Now, if we are in the days of Noah, and he went up on the 17th day of Tishrei, okay, that would be October 3rd. That still falls in line with what I've been saying. If y'all call September 23rd, 24th, you're a Tishrei. But then when you look at 3-Eye Atlas and where it's going to be in between, all the way up until October 8th, it's hot. It's fish grease hot right now. Dirty fish grease hot. Whew, that's tough, man. That is, hey, that's something to be looking at. Either way, okay? Either way, as soon as we get, so in actuality, let's go back up here. So if this is today, is August the 26th. Okay. Where are we at? August, no, today is Tuesday. So today is August 20. Today is August the 20. No, yeah, I'm tripping. This calendar got me tripping. So today is August the 25th. That would be Elul 10. I'm sorry, y'all. The numbers got me twisted. So, what could happen between now and then? Anything, really, if you think about it. But the one thing, now, again, I have seen videos. Now, maybe we add in the 23rd, but all I've been hearing from people in these dreams are Feast of Trumpets. Feast of Trumpets. But for me, I look at the harpazo as a snatching, which, I mean, if God knows when that hour, when that moment is, and if he's told people through dreams and it's been going viral everywhere that it would be Feast of Trumpets, well, according to the Dead Sea Scroll calendar, the Feast of Trumpets would be September 17th, which will be on a Wednesday. And that would be the day that Christ rose from the grave, because Wednesday would be the third day, okay? It would be the first day, which would be new beginnings, because if he rose on the third day, would also be the first day as well, as I did a teaching on years ago, and I showed you actually the date and the calendars, the Gregorian verses, but at that time I was using the Chabad, okay? But I liken this to, he said, well, where does Good Friday come from? That's Catholic. Catholic has stuck a lot of garbage into Catholicism and into eschatology. Catholics have dirtied it up, and a lot of people with that 3 days of darkness garbage. That's a Catholic belief system, that they believe in that garbage. Ain't nowhere in the book where it say during the days of grace it's going to be 3 days of darkness. If anything, it'll happen after, and it'll be during the trib. Okay, so I'm trying to give perspective. Either way you look at this thing, it's hot. Okay? It's hot. She said God was big. Now, let me show you. Let me get to our naming of these visitors, right? Paul. All right, guys. So I want to show you in 2017, the Revelation 12 sign that had everybody up in an uproar. The name of that thing, and I'm going to stop saying that because it was called, I can't say it, but I'm just going to say Umui Mawa, okay? When we calculate that and we look it up in the number system, we shouldn't be using that. Well, God said he made everything. Ain't nothing made that wasn't made by Christ for us to use. It's just that evil get a hold to it and they do wrong things with it. Okay, there's nothing that we can't use, and then you use it for righteousness to give you the answers that you need. Okay, stop being such afraid and be sissified because you've allowed yourself to be conditioned about, we shouldn't be using that. Everything was made by God. It's just that when they get their hands on it, they use it for witchcraft. But the keys are there. The secrets are there for us to search. Now listen, this is what the visitor's name meant in 2017. It was a Revelation 12 sign. The child had been delivered up to heaven. Who was the child? Yahshua, right? The woman was Israel, right? Now, that's the value, 712. English is 636. Now, when you get down here and it shows you what it means, this is what it means. Yahshua showed up in 2017. Let me get past these silly ads. In 2017, Yahshua showed up. It was called Umui Mawa. Revelation 12 sign. What happened in Revelation 12? The child was delivered it was caught up. Satan was trying to kill it. That was the Son of God. That was Jesus that showed up in 2017. Okay? These are the numbers for it. That's what you have. Striking, right? And there it is. Right up under Yeshua's name, there you have the visitor, which was called the Revelation 12 sign. Okay? Now, Yahshua's name is in here more than once at 712. Or Yeshua, still Jesus Christ, right? Now, let me show you 3i Atlas, what that stands for. Okay? Now we got 712, right? So let's go 3i Atlas. Let's calculate 712 for Umui Mawa. I know I'm not saying that right, but this is 221 in the Hebrew. Now let's go take a look at what it means. Okay? 221 in the Hebrew. Act of God. And let's continue. Act of God. That's so Jesus showed up in 2017, and you mean to tell me that this is saying that this is God showing up, and it's big. Act of God. Okay? Now, the English for the same line where you see act of God is 426. Okay? So let's click on 426. And I get past these goofy ads, y'all. Excuse me. They're making this crap just more and more hard to deal with. So 426 is an act of God. But I also found when we pull up these numbers in the other study, so act of God and Jesus, or Jesus and God. Now let's go look it up this way. Okay? Now we said it's 221 and 426. Let's look up 426. 221 first. Let's see what this means. Fury. Let's see. It spells covenant. Let's see. In the Hebrew, become, he is lived, becomes, becoming. Let's see. We're gonna keep going. It's Aramaic. 221. Hebrew. Now, okay. I don't want to keep beleaguering the time. So let me look up 426. I should have looked up in the Hebrew. But let's go 426 real quick. I'm running out of time. I'm on a break. 426. 426. Found 7 times. It means God in English. Golly. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I don't know what to tell y'all. 221 and 426. In the English, 3-eye atlas means 426, which means God. Elah. That's tight. Jesus shows up in 2000. I'm just talking about the names, y'all. Jesus shows up in 2017. And this year, 3-eye atlas shows up. It translates into God and act of God. Okay? I'm just showing you what I found. Okay? That's all. That's all I'm showing you is what I found. So, there was another system that I wanted to show you that I was using. Okay, let's just do this here. Okay, let's go. What does, and then I got to get back. What does 221 mean in the Bible? Okay, now there is a link that I am looking for. It's called BibleHub.com. That's it. Okay, it might be, it's similar to the one I was just on. Okay, so let's do 221 again and see if we can find it in this Bible study guide. Okay, it means fury, fire, it's a covenant. So it's still the same. I still like that it's saying God in the English translation. That's wild to me. Jesus showed up in 2017. That Pharaoh dream 7 years before, 7 years after. Whew. This is something else, man. To look this stuff up and find that 3-eye has God's name on it. Before that, Jesus' name was on the one that showed up earlier. So, folks, I'm gonna stop the video right here. Let's continue to watch and pray. This year, Tishrei 1 is Feast of Trumpets. Either you look at it as September 17th, or you could be looking at it as September 23rd to the 24th. So, September the 2nd. I can't get this thing to show me September 1st. That's Mars. Okay, red planet. So let me draw a little circle around. That's Mars. Okay. September 2nd. So September 1st, that's where this is 3-eye atlas. That's God. That's what the name means. I'm only going by what the name is translated. That's God. Okay. Then when you look at Earth, that's Earth right here. And I want you to look at the position of 3-eye atlas and Earth. Nothing in between. Nothing blocking. And it would be right, so you would have Mars on the other side of 3-eye atlas. If it's headed towards the sun, it would be on the left, and Earth would be to the right. Wow. And in my spirit, I kept hearing at the beginning of September, be on the lookout. At the beginning of September, be on the lookout. I never really could see September 23rd and all that, because I just kept hearing at the beginning of September. And then I get this new calendar. Well, it's not new. Someone drops that calendar, the Dead Sea Scrolls, and Tishrei 17, not according to Chabad.com, but according to the Dead Sea Scrolls calendar, the Feast of Trumpets is September the 1st, the beginning of fall in the Dead Sea Scroll calendar. Either way it go, folks, stay on your ready. Time is short. Peace.